All right, so last week we did the 4-post lift in here. Before that, we did the bolt bin storage. We did the water heater. We did the window. We just did all this stuff to make this place feel bigger, and we're still chasing that. So I wasn't gonna film this, but I decided that I wanted to show y'all how good this can probably turn out. Well, I guess because I haven't done it yet. Literally, we have all the boxes down here. But I think this is gonna be a huge improvement. I think a lot of people at this point might think I'm crazy because stuff seems to be perfectly fine, yet I keep tearing stuff apart. And well, that seems to be the theme on this channel. I absolutely love building. Now, we spent a lot of time building this Plymouth and the Comet before that, but life is just about more than just cars. So we're gonna address this corner over here. We put this lift in here, and overall it feels pretty good. It's definitely a little small. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. If you did not watch the lift video, you should probably watch it, skim it. You might not need the instructions, but it's pretty interesting that we got that thing to fit in here. But I still want to make this place feel not claustrophobic, and I have more stuff that I have purchased and I'm trying to pack into here. So what I found to go here actually goes like all the way up to here. It's way higher. It's the same height as this top box right here, minus this. So we need to go up a little into this cabinet space. Now, these cabinets are also not falling, but they are drooping very bad. So when we redid it, we put a leg in here, and this has just been around too long. Like, it's just drooping off the wall. Like, it's built out of 2x4s and plywood, but it's not really weight in here, but I mean, that's what it is. It's drooped so bad that these things closed perfect whenever I built this. And you can now see how far off the latch mechanisms are. So that's how bad this cabinet is sagging right here in the center. And it's kind of big and bulky, and it doesn't utilize every square inch like it could. So we looked around for the cheapest cabinets that we could find, and we ordered these off eBay. Now, we did not order the Vevor ones. We actually ordered, I'll show you on the screen right here. We ordered knockoff brands, but they all come Vevor. So I'm pretty sure that Vevor makes all of these. And then other companies on eBay and Amazon just rebrand them on their listing. They don't tell you it's Vevor. And then when it shows up to your door, it's actually Vevor, which makes good products. So we purchased cabinets, and then we purchased this right here, which I'm gonna show you here in a second to get some more stuff out of here. So this right here, I was looking for sheds for outside, because we have the shed, if you follow along, that we have the plasma table in, we have lawnmowers in, and we have all that stuff in. But I was like, man, I need just a little bit more room on my property. Now, if you're familiar with the channel, then I live in an HOA community, and so I don't just go build a bunch of random crap out back. So I'm continuously packing in storage, but I have a 4,400 square foot shop as a business. So I have no desire to have this piece of property, you know, for my house really, that has a ton of storage, because I literally live that weekdays 8 to 5. I stumbled across these things, which most people, they're called deck boxes. So you're probably like, oh yeah, most people store pool supplies and stuff like that in them. But I was like, we should be able to utilize this for storing stuff like our jack stands. We don't use our jack stands like never. I actually haven't used the jack stands since, yikes, maybe the race car, maybe the Comet. I don't know if we used it on the Plymouth build. But now that we have the 4-post lift in here, I was like, how many times are we really going to use the jack stands? Now, we don't want to get rid of them. We don't want to put them in our shed out there where our plasma table is and lawnmowers and all that, because they just get in the way. And if we need to put something on jack stands, we want to be able to grab it quick. So I said, well, you know what? It don't really matter if they like get a little bit of rust on them. Condensation, even though these things are supposed to be waterproof. I was like, so let's give one of these a go. You can go on Amazon and look up all kinds of different ones for you, like whatever size fits you. Seems really flimsy, but we don't need the weight in the walls at all. Like, the only place that we're gonna need strength to is the floor. And I done told myself that, you know, we can literally just put a piece of plywood down in the floor to build up some of the strength. But this is how it basically looks when it's all together. So it's literally just a freaking box, and it's made out of plastic, so it can't rot and it can't rust because it's not metal. So it's kind of a win-win. Dude, this should be super simple. So the goal is we're gonna see this whole box. We bought this to see, can we put all of our jack stands in, which I think are only 4, and then can we put all 5 wheel dollies in it? So super easy, it literally snaps together. I'm not here to sell you on nothing. But a couple things that I was looking for is that there was a way for me to put some kind of clip in here so the wind don't blow it open, which there is. Put some lousy clip in here, and then it's supposedly waterproof. I think that comes from how everything drains. So basically this lip is overlapped on that, and it should run right down. Don't know about the cracks. We'll see, but the reason why the floor doesn't have no support, I found that out, is because it literally sits right on the floor. So it's not like it has any legs or nothing. So it doesn't need support, it sits on the floor. So let's put this outside and get some of this stuff out of this garage, a couple of little items out of our way. Okay, so all of my jack stands were up here, so they're gone now. That opened up that pocket of jack stands. We've got one of this. 2 are being tied up on the H-frame until we put it together. 2 were tied up with the vise, so we only have 1 to put in here. But let's see the room, if they will fit in here, because they will stack on top of each other. Oh yeah. Wow, look at that. This thing is actually bigger than it looks. So we'll literally be able to just stack them on top of each other like that, plus a lot more. These things are currently on sale at Harbor Freight for like 10 bucks. They're normally like 12. So if for some reason they get wet out here, then it's not that big of a deal. And the jack stands, we really don't care if they get a little bit of surface rust on them, even though I don't think they will. You can even stand these up on their side if you need to. So yeah, dude, that's a win. That's 100% win. And then right out here outside the window, we got to finish cleaning up a little, but that's perfect. That gets literally, let's see here, 4 plus 4, 8, 9, I guess 9 items out of my garage and out of my way. All right, so now for the big item. Let me get all this unloaded and get this corner cleaned out. I'm not gonna bore you with tearing out cabinets. You can kind of see what it's like now, and then we'll get them all put up, and then I'll show you how they look. All right, so there is what the first 3 look like. And we could actually go probably one more. It's kind of hard to see behind the light. Not bad, I like them. The only thing I don't like is that the pieces right here, you can't get them close together. So the tracks you can basically slide on, but I guess this one is slid all the way because that's what I was just banging on. Actually, yes, it's in this stud and it's in that stud right there. So it pretty much means it's right there all the way to the end. And then this one I can shift back this way and get it where it's, these 2 are tight, but then that one will have a gap. So you can't put multiples up and have them all tight. That's the only thing I don't like. The only thing I have left to do is now just measure these and make sure they're accurate. And then it takes 1 screw in the center just to fix it, I think, from it sliding, and just to help lock it in and make it so it don't jump up off the track. I think what it is, if you're putting yours up to the ceiling like this, I'll go ahead and tell you the cheat code. From the ceiling to the bottom of the bracket, it's 4 inches. So go from the ceiling, make a mark on the wall at 4 inches, and then put your bracket above that 4 inches. The bracket is drilled 16 inches on center, so you can get into studs. But yeah, dude, I like how they're all powder coated. They look good. They're nice. The drawers or the lids are a little bit downwards angle, so they stay open. It's a shame I'm not getting paid for this review, but it is what it is. All right, so this is where mine gets a little funky. So them worked out perfect that you could put a bracket, both holes in the studs as we worked our way down. But this one, I'm setting the cabinets back, and I want them to start tight in the corner. So depending on what room you're working in, your house is going to be laid out different. Depending on the way the studs fell, they're going to be 16 inches on center, but that don't necessarily mean that they're going to be exactly where you need them to be at. So of course mine's not. Of course this is a stud. Everywhere there's sheetrock mud, and as you can see, our holes don't hit a stud. So I drilled 2 holes in it and put screws through it. And that's where we're going to start it at. It's basically centering the cabinet. And then I think I'm actually going to come in the corner of the cabinet and screw some holes through it to actually mount it into the studs. Also to make it where it's really strong. But this way I can sit the cabinet up there. It holds it by itself. I have a line drawn across the sheetrock all the way so that all the brackets are at the same height. So hopefully all the cabinets end up at the same height. And then I can screw them in and mount them to the actual wall where they're a little stronger. All right, and then if you want to know how these things hang on the wall, so your bracket goes on the wall, your upper piece of your cabinet, now the half cabinets only have this single back, but then these double cabinets, they utilize 2 of them. So they still come in about the same size box for shipping. And then it strengthens up the center when you screw these 2 together because that lip is actually rolled. So I'm really happy with these cabinets, and literally I paid for them out of pocket and I'm not getting no commission. But this is the bracket. So when you screw it on the wall, then you just sit the cabinet up there and then it just hooks on that bracket like that. Some of them I had where they didn't quite want to hit the bracket. And so then what I did is come inside as you're holding it up and just push on that metal right there. And that will sometimes, if it's bowed in or bowed out, or the wall is bowed in or bowed out, that will get it to hook over the bracket. What I'm gonna do for the shop light underneath, Harbor Freight does have 2-foot ones which will fit, and they have 12-inch ones. 12-inch ones aren't as bright. But these, like right now, they're on stuff for 17 bucks. And then last weekend we got free magnetic bars. I get a lot of magnetic bars on them weekends because I use them for a lot of stuff. But I had these spacers, screws, drill little holes in them, and put a magnet on them, and it should. Perfect, look at that. You can't beat that. And look at my height. It just happened that I have perfect spacers. Goes back to that video of organizing our drawer, knowing what we have when we built that. But if you don't have spacers, you can literally just rip a piece of wood or go to the hardware store and get a ton of washers until you get the spacing right with the screws and everything. But that's gonna be perfect. And then I like that it has the hole right here, so you can literally come out of the end of the light, and then you got power in this cabinet. Once you get, the power to this one, which we can go up and over and dive down behind our box. All right, so how do we do? I'm gonna be 100% honest to you and show you, that way you can decide if you should purchase these cabinets. Here's what's left under the floor. I'll be 100% honest with you. So we emptied all these boxes out that we had under or on top of my cabinet, put these in something that we built in a previous video. Storage containers also emptied out. We can't put the ultrasonic cleaner back in the cabinet. It's just too big, so we're gonna put that up on the shelf. The 2 distilled waters are going in the trash, and the only other thing that's going in the trash is a welder lead and a little bit of floor sprinkles, because if we buy a floor kit, it should have sprinkles with it. So we should be good. Flex plate, I actually forgot about. Gotta do something with the flex plate, but that is crazy minor. It's actually kind of heavy. So here is what it looks like. I'm absolutely happy, very happy with these cabinets. Very happy. So what do we got in them? First off, I did add screws to the bottom because I put a little bit of weight on top. So I come in where the studs fall at, and I drilled a hole, and I did add sheetrock screws. Your cable wire actually can wedge perfect between the screws that put the cabinet together to hold that up if you do it. Let's start down here. I'm really happy with these cabinets. So this one drags. It's the only one that the door drags on that just a little bit. So as you can see, we're nowhere near full in this one. And the gray cabinet, or the wood cabinet, was way fuller, more full. So just our paints, caulking, stuff like that, odds and ends. But all you care about is how much fit in them. So this one, I really like this, because now all my towels are completely separate. These are really good for when you're assembling stuff that you don't want scratched, or the kids need a towel that doesn't need our good bath towel, or shop rags, drop cloths, stuff like that. So that's a really good cabinet to have completely separate, whereas before it was all just thrown together. This cabinet, look at this. This is amazing. It's empty practically. Completely, like, just way more room still left in there, believe it or not. Let's go up top. So up top, we sat my AC condenser, and I'm only showing you this because this was all what was on the other setup. AC condenser, the turbo. Now this turbo is a little heavy, but I don't want it down low where it can get scratched or dented or anything like that. So I put it between the cabinets so that this structure is kind of carrying the weight. These cabinets are still really solid. I was going to add some screws in the backside, and I still might go back and add them, but you got to remember that plate that mounts them goes all the way across. It's in 2 studs, and then it's all the way across, versus if you put a screw in, it's just going to be just in that one area. It might pull it up tighter where it don't move, but I do think their bracket's really strong. So we have this up here. I kind of just did as household stuff, sheetrock, stuff like that, caulking caulking guns, stuff like that. I really like how these things closed. And then this one I put up high, the moving blankets, because we don't really use these things until we start painting the car. When we start having painted parts, then the moving blankets come out. The ladder was definitely a must. Off of Amazon, we purchased a while back. If you're gonna be having cabinets up high, you need a little fold-up ladder. And then this last cabinet up here, look at that. Completely freaking empty. 100% empty. So, where did all the stuff go that was in the tubs? My plastic tubs. That was all, if you follow the channel, that was all parts that go to this custom build. It's just we've been buying and buying and buying things that we need for this. So if you back up a handful of videos, I showed you how we built this cart. This cart moves around, and its purpose is for this car. This cart is not a tool cart anymore. This is a build cart. So this is where we keep everything organized for the build. And we actually built this, had a lot of space available, and we never transferred our bins. The idea of the bins for the build parts come along before this come along. So now we can utilize this for what it's actually made for. And I want to show you this because you can back up a couple videos and check out this video right here, and it shows you how I did this cart, which is amazing. So everything in here, I mean, there's a lot of billet caps, billet stuff, billet block off plates, very expensive rams in here. These are all engine stuff, valve springs, push rods, just stuff that we've bought for the engine of this Cummins because it's a custom build. Just a bunch of hardware, air ride stuff, brake adapters, just stuff that we've bought already, that we already own for this car. So when I go to build this car, all right, I can literally, if I'm looking for a piece, I can say, well, didn't I buy that piece? And I know for a fact that everything I have bought for this car is in this cart. Once we're done with this build, I'll completely empty out this cart 100%, and we'll start fresh with our next build, which is that Ford pickup truck that we showed on the channel. So I am super satisfied with these cabinets. It is cleaner. We were able to get rid of the plastic coats that were up top, and we were able to open up this pocket right here. All right, because it used to be down here. We have something else that we're building here. I got lots of projects. I don't know when I'll ever get back on this Plymouth. But we were just really able to open this up here, dude. Make sure you smash that like button, at least as a thank you. Maybe you'll hang around, because I am just been on a huge kick of shop organization and showing y'all how to make the most out of your small, limited space. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Let me know if you picked up anything from it or if anything helped you. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, y'all.